This is a story that dates back to 2015, the summer of 2015, when a man named Donald Trump first announced he was running for president. You will remember what that announcement looked like. The very next day after that announcement, we ran a segment here on this show about what appeared to me to be fairly convincing evidence that the Donald Trump presidential campaign launch seemed to be the first presidential campaign launch in U.S. history where the candidate actually had to pay actors to show up and pretend to be supporters of this candidate who was announcing his campaign. And there was a few different components of that reporting and what led to us surmising that, putting it on TV the day after Trump announced. First of all, CNN had reported on the day of the announcement that, weirdly, somebody who appeared to be part of the event was out on the street in front of Trump Tower, like carnival barking to try to build up the crowd. Also, we had sent a producer to the event. Our producer at the Trump announcement actually heard people in the VIP section talking about how, to them, it seemed like maybe this supposed crowd of Trump supporters actually included a considerable number of people who were being paid to be there, who weren't legitimate Trump supporters. By the day after the Trump campaign launch, The Hollywood Reporter actually got its hand on an email sent out by a company called Extra Mile Casting. Extra Mile. It's a little bit of a double entendre. They're like, we'll go the extra mile for you, but also this is a company that provides extras. The Hollywood Reporter did obtain an email sent from that company, the Extra Mile. It was an email blast sent out to their list of actors, their list of potential extras who they hire for all sorts of different gigs. It said, hi there. We're working with our associates at Gotham Government Relations. We're working with them at a big event happening Tuesday, June 16th. This is an event in support of Donald Trump in an upcoming, exciting announcement he'll be making at this event. The event will be televised. That's an important thing for people who are considering extras gigs. We're looking to cast people for the event to wear T-shirts and carry signs and help cheer him in support of his announcement. The email continued. This is great. We understand that this is not a traditional background job, meaning it's not the traditional acting job we'd usually be hiring you for as an extra. They say, quote, but we believe acting comes in all forms, and this is inclusive of that school of thought. The event is happening live and will be from 8:45 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. And then in all caps, that's less than 3 hours. Meaning, even if this sounds disgusting to you, it's less than 3 hours. And the rate for this event is $50 cash at the end of the event. Isn't that an easy way to make money? Quote, we would love to book you if you are interested and still available. Please let us know. So the day after this reality show guy, Donald Trump, announced his campaign for president, we reported on this story. I mean, it's kind of a remarkable thing, right? The guy was being treated by the Republican Party and much of the political press as a normal Republican candidate, but it's not normal for a politician to have to pay people to pretend to support his campaign. That's sort of crazy, right? So the day after Trump announced his presidential campaign, we covered that day. We got so much shade for that. It was like we stepped on their tail the way they screamed. And the Trump campaign manager, Corey Lewandowski, denied it in the most uncompromising terms. He said, there is nobody who believes that when Donald Trump goes somewhere, he does not generate the biggest, largest, and most rambunctious crowds on the planet. He said, Mr. Trump draws record crowds at almost every event at which he is a featured speaker. The crowds are often large, often record-setting, and enthusiastic, often with standing ovations. He said this whole story about hiring actors for the campaign launch was a lie, fake news. He said, quote, it is just not true, unequivocally. The Donald Trump campaign and Donald Trump did not pay anybody to attend his announcement. Now, that same Trump campaign manager admits that actually the story was true. That same Trump campaign manager telling Business Insider that it really was, quote, $50 for every person to come in to stand in Trump Tower. Now they admit it. We knew it from the beginning. We reported it from the very beginning. But all the lies and the denial and the volume of the complaining and the counterattacks, right, somehow kept this from being one of the foundational things we understood about this little disastrous adventure we've just been through in American politics and history. He did not start off with any actual supporters. He started off as just a famous person on TV who had to pay to fake it, to appear to have political support that he did not actually have. But faking it was good enough. You pay to fake it well enough and for long enough, and if that's what it looks like on TV, eventually you can turn the faked appearance of support into actual support. Which ought to be a little bit of a soul-searching thing in terms of the American reckoning with authenticity in politics, right? I mean, for all the ink and breath wasted, even now, on the appeal of Trump within the Republican Party and his political future and his grip on his supporters, that part of how his presidency came to be sort of ought to be set straight in the political record.